Hi, everyone. My name is Selena Belisle, and I am the founder at CE Institute. I'm also one of the instructors and CE providers, teaching many different modalities under the sun for body workers and massage therapists. We're at ceinstitute.com. Today, I'm going to discuss setting massage prices or bodywork prices for your services. We have a lot of healthcare practitioners that come and learn new modalities with us, but then they don't know what to charge for the service. So we wrote a little blog here for Massage Study Buddy, and I'm going to review that with you today. If you want to see this in detail, it's at massagestudybuddy.com, and then you can search within their site setting massage prices. To figure out what might be the best practice to set your price, I broke this down into 4 different categories to review with you. And the first one that I'm going to ask you to consider when setting your price is, what do your peers charge and what's your market? Here in Miami Beach, where I practice, we have really expensive real estate and the cost of living is really high. So our market, I feel, charges more than what the market might be in St. Albans, Vermont, where I was born, and the real estate and the cost of living is less expensive up there than it is down here in South Beach, Miami. So obviously what I charge where the prices and the cost of living are more expensive, I charge a little bit more than in another market where the cost of living is a little bit lower and people are usually earning a little bit less too, right? So the prices of your massage might follow in that cost of living category. Also, look at your peers and what they're charging in the market, and then compare your experience to their experience. So look at what the base rate and what the bottom rate of what's being charged in the market, and then look at what the top prices are being commanded in your market, in your location, in your geographical area where you're practicing. And then ask yourself, how do you compare to these other practitioners? Do you have more experience than them? Do you have less experience than them? And then that's a way you can possibly gauge what you should charge for your service. Now, some people, especially when they're practicing deep tissue, neuromuscular type body work, and they're applying a lot more effort. It's more strenuous on your body to practice the service. We're asked, should you charge more for this? Of course, you could charge more for this. You could charge whatever you like as long as you're commanding it and receiving it and working. The issue becomes when you start separating your menu prices and saying, like, Swedish massage is this price and deep tissue is a little more, is you might have people book the Swedish massage, but they come in and they really want the deep tissue. And that sometimes can get into an argumentative situation with your client when they're like, this isn't deep tissue, this isn't much pressure, but they're just trying to save on the lesser expensive appointments sometimes, and that makes it a difficult, enjoyable experience. Keep in mind, there's also people who book deep tissue massage and you barely touch them and be like, oh, that's too much pressure. So you might have the vice versa, where you have people booking deep tissue, but they're not taking deep tissue treatment at all. And of course, it would be ethical to say, this is not a deep tissue treatment, so I'm going to charge you the Swedish massage price. And what's more important to think about is if you're making that differentiation, you might only book maybe 4 deep tissue massages in a day or 5 Swedish massages, because the 4 deep tissues might be just as difficult of a workload as 5 regular Swedish massages, right? What happens when you take that deep tissue massage and now you've downgraded them to Swedish? Now you're making less money for the day. So take all of this into consideration when you're setting your massage practices. There's a lot to think about. What we also reviewed in this article here, and what I want you to think about as well, is sometimes people charge different prices based on deep tissue, but it might be other factors as well, such as if you are doing a cupping bodywork massage service, or if you're doing a hot stone massage service. Both of those use tools to provide massage as long as the cupping massage is in motion. So when you're practicing these massage services and it required that you acquire additional training, which costs money, and it required that you acquire additional equipment that costs money. Some therapists use this rationale to charge more for the service because they're trying to recoup their investment for their training and the equipment. So that's one of the ways that you can explain to the client if you're charging maybe $10 or $20 more for cupping massage or hot stone massage. Well, we had to do additional training and buy additional equipment, so that's why the service cost a little bit more. You also want to consider how much setup and breakdown time there is with your service. With a regular Swedish massage, it might be just flipping your sheets and washing your oil bottles and you're ready to go. It's not much change over time. But if you're doing a cupping massage or hot stone massage, think about the time that you need to prepare maybe a hot stone bath. And then think about the time you need to individually wash cups and stones. That takes additional time. And whenever you're working, you should be paid for your time, whether it's physically working on the client or doing prep work or cleanup work for their service. One of the ways that you could look at all of this is to maybe charge a large price for your service, for instance, maybe $200 an hour. And then you can always discount your service if it required less training, less cleanup, less setup. You can also charge a large amount for your service. And then especially if you're working in a seasonal area, and then you have room to discount your service during non-seasonal times when you need the additional work. It's really hard to go backwards if you're already charging like a reasonable rate or a little bit less for your service. What happens when you have a slow period? Or there's a, advertisement special in the newspaper, like how do you advertise yourself and provide that incentive or call to action to get people to come see you? Usually the number one way you would do this is to provide a discount on your service. But if you're already charging normal rates or a little bit less, it's really hard to discount. So sometimes charging a greater amount for your service, which we reviewed here in the article, it creates value. People might ask, well, why are they more expensive? Maybe they're better. It's not always the case, but maybe. And also it gives you room to discount as well. Now, in charging for your services, there's one more thing I want to discuss with you, which is maybe adding some add-ons to your services. Let's say you're charging a base rate, but you don't offer a hot stone full body massage, but you might add hot stones to a certain area. And you can do that as an add-on, maybe for $20 or something. You also might add foot scrubs for another 10 or $20 to your regular massage. You could add like a mini reflexology for another 10 or $20. This is if you don't have any other appointments booked, and it's up to you to determine whether or not that time is part of their existing massage time or you're going to give them additional time. If you're going to charge additional for add-on services, the one thing that we ask is to make it extremely clear to your client what exactly they're receiving. I know at one of the major employers that I worked at the Ritz-Carlton, we charged an additional $20 to do hot stone massage in one area, but it was still the same 50-minute massage. All you were getting for that additional $20 is the stones during that 50-minute massage on their backside, as opposed to any additional massage time. So if you're going to give additional massage time with your add-ons, tell them it's going to be an extra 10 minutes on your massage today. And if it's included as part of the massage time, you can say, well, we have this $20 add-on with stones, but it's still going to be a 50-minute massage. We're just going to add stones incorporate it into the back. And, it's a really nice thermal therapy add-on to help increase circulation and decrease muscle tension, or whatever you feel your add-on benefits would be for that particular client. So my name is Selena Belisle. I hope that helps give you some ideas about how you might set your own massage practices in your own market. And if you want to learn more in the massage therapy or bodywork industry, we hope you join us at the school. We're at ceinstitute.com and we teach almost every month of the entire year. We hope to see you in one of our live or pre-recorded trainings. And until then, be safe.